I'm thankful to all of you have all come at a very short notice. So I'll just explain to you three, four things about the proposed fund. Actually, it's a financing facility where we are hoping to provide finance of up to 1 lakh crores in next 4 years, including the current financial year, to set up post-harvest management infrastructure as well as to set up community farming assets so that there is a large-scale benefit to farmers and we increase their holding capacity, we increase their bargaining capacity for their produce, and we make sure that there is less wastage and there is more pricing. The remunerative price of the produce can be attained by the farmers. So as we know that we have clusters of produce, like there may be citrus plantations, there may be plantations of oranges, there may be grapes, there may be fruits and vegetables of different kinds, there may be traditional crops. But in every area, we don't have facility for proper warehousing, or where there is a requirement of higher shelf life, we don't have cold chain. Where there is a requirement of a sorting, grading, packing house, we don't have that, and farmers are compelled to take their produce in a unorganized fashion, which delivers them a small price, reduced price. If there are warehouses, they are not accredited to WDRA. Without accreditation, the financing facility on stocked goods is not available. We are also doing a marketing reform where e-marketing points have to be set up so that a farmer doesn't need to take his produce to mandi. He can actually sell at the warehouse or at the silo or at the packaging or sorting grading unit. Similarly, there are requirements where there are banana plantations for ripening units, where there are mango plantations, there may be requirement for packing and grading of mangoes. Similar facilities may be required in Himachal Pradesh for apples, in Northeast for the unique produce that Northeast has. There are tribal areas like Eastern MP and some areas of Andhra, Karnataka, where traditional coarse grains are grown, the nutri cereals like kodu, kutki, sama. There also we need primary processing to make that produce saleable and have a better price for farmers. So we have a large gamut of activity that can be taken up. There is no limit for funding. So what I require from your side is that Mishra ji will allot states to each institute, and in your respective state, you should get in touch with the NABARD setup. There is a normally a chief general manager or a regional manager of NABARD for each state. And with the NABARD people there and along with the state officials, if you can identify a few good primary agriculture cooperative societies or marketing societies or other cooperatives and maybe some FPOs who can then be we can do a study on them and we can structure some projects for them, and these projects ultimately will be financed by the banks. There will be incentive of interest subvention, credit guarantee, and other hand holding support from our side, from the government side. So since a parallel infrastructure is going to be created for hand holding as well, so I thought we have a very good base of manpower and very good knowledgeable people working for us. So you should, if you get involved in this entire exercise, then there will be two opportunities for our institutes. One is for capacity building of the office bearers and of the agri entrepreneurs. We can train them, we can help them to understand the kind of projects and technology that is available. We can help them to prepare projects which are bankable, and then finally do the hand holding for these bankable projects to be financed. So we can have a long term association, and that can be a source of revenue for our organizations as well in the long run. So that is the first intent. But as a task that we have to do immediately is that since you are experienced and you understand project management and project formation, if in the state where you are, if you can list out the projects which can be taken up in the first phase, like for example, if Vamnicom is there in Maharashtra, you can identify clusters in Maharashtra where there would be shortage of post-harvest management infrastructure. Like there's a lot of onion that is produced in Maharashtra, but we may have shortage of onion godowns, storage facilities for onions. We may have a requirement of irradiation plant for increasing the shelf life of fruits and vegetables and other grains. We may have a requirement of small silos. We may have a requirement for setting up a sorting grading house for traditional crops. So you can do an identification area wise, agroclimatic wise in your state, and then frame a few projects along with the financials. Like suppose you are saying that we can have a warehouse or a storage facility for onions, then we can say that this is the capacity, say 1000 tons or 500 tons capacity warehouse with a certain cost that is going to come up. What will be the storage charge? What will be the total investment? What will be the payback period? And how many years it will take for the facility to become financially independent, whether there is a demand for that kind of a facility in that area. So a two-pager project, and then areas identified. Like if we say there is a requirement of 50 or 80 or 100 or 500 warehouses which are for onion storage in these many districts or these many clusters, that we have to say. The other point that I wanted to make is that this is also an attempt that we create employment in the rural areas. So if we have post-harvest management facilities and primary processing facilities, primary processing is different from agri-processing. Primary processing is processing just before sale of produce, not the dal mill or atta mill type of a thing. That is converting a produce into a different mode. That is not the intent. But we are looking at primary processing. But when these projects are taken up, then there is also a great potential of employment generation in villages, and this employment generation will help us to help villagers not to leave their villages and work within their villages. So that is another objective of setting up of this financing facility, so that we not only create infrastructure for our farmers, we also create employment opportunities for our workers and laborers in the villages itself. And of course, the third aspect is to promote technology, to promote innovation, to promote agri entrepreneurs to come in and build these projects on commercial lines. And these projects will also get the same kind of incentives. There may be a project to set up a crop advisory in a particular area. There can be a project to monitor water management and help the farmers to have better input selection. There can be a project to have a micro irrigation facility for a group of farmers, where farmers pay a user charge, and that facility is built up after taking a loan, and then that is repaid over a period of time. So there can be a lot of assets for a lot of projects for community assets also, which can be covered under this scheme. So this is the overall intent. So I would like you to do a preliminary study, and in next 2 days, quickly, just collate your ideas. You have the geographical knowledge of the states in which you are already established, and maybe every institute gives me 10 or 15 projects or 20 projects of different types which are suitable in that area, with the financials, with payback period, with the overall capital investment, the employment generating capacity, and of course the financial sustainability of a project in a particular area, and a kind of a cluster that will come up, or a group of villages where it will be set up. So this is the basic work I want you to do in the next 2 days. So whichever institute gives us good projects, then we will involve that institute permanently in the project execution stage, so that you do the hand holding and capacity building, as I said right in the beginning, and there is a good revenue stream for the organization as well. So this is the basic idea. If anybody has questions, you're most welcome to speak.